When a man doesn't have a God he worships, he can worship anything or any God. I think that's the quote. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but I had that quote, and okay, it's not the exact quote that I had, but I remember it like that. So, the topic I'm going to talk about today, or the subject of the matter I'm going to talk about today, and those like the same things. Anyway, yeah, so God, spirituality, and all that. I think I've been interested in this topic of God since 2021 there. And it's through, I think, Jordan Peterson that I got interested into this topic. I watched his series. Okay, I first read his book, 12 Rules for Life, Antidote to Chaos. It's a great book, by the way. I would recommend it. And I watched his series on YouTube on the Bible, Genesis, the book of Genesis. And they were really amazing. Like, what I remember thinking, like, the way he brought this series to life, like, they're like 12 episodes, and they're on YouTube if you want to watch them. Like, they're free, and each episode is like 2 and 30 minutes. No, I mean 2 hours and 30 minutes. And the way he lectured them, or the way he delivered these lectures is that not from a theological standpoint, but from what he likes calling it, the psychological standpoint, point of view, from a psychological point of view. And I remember thinking, wow, like, there's a way we can think about the Bible and and the stories in the Bible in a very different way than the way they were presented to us, essentially in Sunday school, or like, there's a way we see the stories in the Bible in a very specific way, like in a very specific mind, like, framework. And I remember thinking, I was like, wow. Like, I started questioning these stories in my head, like, do I really know these things? And of course, when you start asking such questions, you realize you actually you know nothing. And I don't know why this topic has cultivated me, or it has interested me, but I don't believe in free will, so yeah. Our interests don't choose us. I mean, we don't choose our interests, but they choose us. It's another thing I also learned from him, Dr. Jordan Peterson. And I don't know why I'm interested in this matter. Of course, I've said that already, but what can I say? I guess the point of this conversation with myself is that damn, I'm tongue-tied. Question is there really a God? Does it matter if there is a god? Because really, we struggle. I struggle with these questions like, how does God exist on like in the world? How does God exist in the world where we have also a story of evolution? It's like with all the facts we have, and I'm not saying that I'm convinced that there's no God. I'm not an atheist, and that's the term atheist is even actually debated. What does it mean? Like any term can be debated. Agnostic. I'm agnostic, which means that I think it's possible that there's no God, and I'm also open to the idea that there is a God. I would say I'm agnostic, leaning towards theism, meaning that I have a stronger sense that there is a God than there is no God. But on that point, but I think the God that is, I would say, advertised to us, I would say from like when we were young, I no longer believe in that God anymore. The God that, I think there's a problem with there are a lot of problems. There's a problem with the way Christians present God, in my opinion. Christians say God is good, like they give all these attributes of God. God is good, God is powerful, what, And they also say God cannot be known. Like, you can't know God. Our human minds can't fathom God's powers and all that. But then they say that God is good. Like, how do you tell me there's a being out there whose mind is like, let me compare God to AI, which is an interesting topic, by the way, because there's this quote from the Lex Fridman podcast he had with Sam Altman. Sam Altman is the CEO of OpenAI. OpenAI is the company that has produced ChatGPT, and I think by now almost 99% of people know what ChatGPT is. We know what AI is. It's kind of like blah 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 hype AI. And he was chatting with at the end of the podcast, Lex Fridman gave a quote that really shook my understanding. Like, it shook my body. He was like, I don't know who said the quote, but like he just gave the quote, and he gave the guy who said it, but I don't remember the guy who said it. He was like, what if humans are not on earth to worship God, but are on earth to create him? And I was like, bro, whoa. So anyway, and to be honest, if you think about that quote for like 5 minutes, you're like, it's kind of true. Like, we are creating these artificial intelligences that have not brains, but they can think at super light speeds. Like, the moment we think, it's like the AI is like 1,000 steps in thinking ahead of us. Of course, maybe they are not there now, but that's where they are going. Like, no one can argue about that. That's where they are going. It will reach a time when the AI can think of things that humans can't even think of. Like, it's like having 1,000 Einsteins times 1,000, like on your phone, in a computer, something like that. So tying this back to the good conversation, like, we cannot say that AI is good, because what it is thinking about, we can't even think about. We can't give it attributes of good. Yeah, we may say it's powerful, yes, and all that, but we can't say it's good, it's loving and kind, because we don't know what it's thinking. And I think that's a problem I have with Christianity, like the God of Christianity. And another thing is that I'm rereading the Bible right now. I'm reading the Old Testament. Last year I read the New Testament. And I don't know whether it's me, but I feel like the God in the Old Testament is not the God in the New Testament. Like, the God in the Old Testament is human. Like, he's a guy with flaws. Like, right now I'm reading the Exodus, and in the book of Exodus, God talks to Moses as if, Moses talks to God as if he's talking to his buddy, and as if he's talking to, what can I say, his master or boss. And Moses is like an advisor to God. There's this part which interested me. So Moses goes to meet with God on the mountain. That's when he got, I think, the tablets, like with the 10 Commandments. And he goes, I think, for 40 days, something like that. And the Israelites down here, they create a golden calf to worship, because they could not live without a god. So God gets annoyed. He tells Moses to go back. No, he gets annoyed. He's like, I'm going to destroy these guys, and like, I'm going to destroy these guys for not worshiping me, for creating idols, what. Moses is like, why would you do that? You brought these guys out of Egypt. Why would you kill them in the desert? Do you want the Egyptians to say that the God of the Israelites is like this tyrant? He's a killer, what? God is like, okay. Yeah, you're right, man. But I'm very angry. So it's like, I don't know, like the God of the Old Testament, he's, I don't know, a guy is a hot-tempered, and anyway, it's really confusing. And I've started to realize, like, actually the things that we have been told about God, the problem with growing up, like, not growing up, but the problem with being an adult, you think there are things you think you know, but actually we know nothing about such things, about most things. And the more you think that you know things, it's a problem. Even Jesus famously said, unless your mind is like that of a child, you will not see the kingdom of my Father, something along those lines. It's like, why did he say that? It's because kids are always curious, they're always interested. They know that, no, okay, they may not know that they don't know, but they're always searching. Something like that. And I think these stories are worth revisiting. Yeah. Maybe what we thought we knew, we don't know at all. And we need to go back, revisit them, and think for ourselves. Of course, that's not even 1% of what I would say about this topic, but this is getting long. Need to sleep. Good night.